I'm heavy on resilience and persistence. Why should they talk about Francis? Thank you.
Kadi ya mama kwetu siya numbo la peo baba. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the University Talk Show, and I am your host, Faith Mwansa, also known as Faith Chichi. Feligo, umuntu wabantu nafimbi nafimbipo. And today we've got an exciting episode called Why Should We Vote For You? And I am excited to have one of the contestants who is aspiring for academic minister. Please welcome Francis. Francis, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Okay, so my name is Francis Nzumbu. I'm a third year student pursuing a bachelor's degree in mass communication. Yes, I think that's we need to go in deeper. That's a bit of
That's for the
yeah.
So, Francis, I've got about, I think, two, three, or five questions that I just want to ask you so that people should have a reason for why they should vote for you. All right. So, my first question is a personal background and motivation. So, what personal abilities do you believe set you apart from other candidates?
Okay, I believe for starters, one thing that I'm keen on is resilience. Like resilience and consistent. As a person, you should have that mindset where if anything doesn't happen today, it shouldn't stop you from like trying again the next day. You understand? So it's like what we are doing right now. It might not make sense right now, but leave it maybe to God. Leave it to Him. He knows where He's taking you. But do what you find yourself doing today with all your might, because you don't know what's going to happen to you. It might be what we are doing right now. That the next time we're going to do this, it will be this. We don't know. You understand? Yeah. So just have that mindset to say everything that happens for a reason. Yeah, I think I'm heavy on resilience and persistence. I'm heavy on that. Those are some of the qualities that I've actually kept me. So
I want to try again.
exactly, yeah, that's the
So,
song.
this banana power.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are different kind of leaders. There are leaders who are born with leadership in them, and leaders who just, along the way, you just feel like, no, I've got the ability to lead.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you being a leader, for instance, who motivates you as a person? We've got so many leaders, we've got mentors and everything. Who motivates you to be a leader?
Okay, who motivates me to be a leader?
Yeah.
I think for political leaders, for either ways, I can go for Barack Obama for starters. Then the other one that I can rank on that one, I can also put it to an actor. He has played a very huge role in my life. That is Denzel Washington. Yes, I think most of the qualities I actually get from him. Yes, that's what I can say.
Uyu, kadi ya mama kwetu siya numbo la peo baba.
He's actually a charismatic leader, so that's what
Yeah.
I like about him mostly, and the humbleness as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your year of study?
I'm in 30.
38.
Yes.
Okay. According to the electoral system in Mulungushi, you get to participate in elections as an aspiring candidate in second year. So, what has made you to come out now in third year?
Okay, so for starters, a lot of people are actually expecting me to start in my second year
Yeah.
because that's when I was like laying the foundation. I can say I was in second year where I wouldn't come out. I was still working on myself. Like you have to be relevant. That's just what I can say. So why should people, all of a sudden, if people that don't see you here, other students maybe down school, why should they talk about Francis? Understand? Yeah, such situations. So find something that is actually relevant and contribute to that or be part of that. Then when your name comes up, they are going to say, if you are looking for someone who can fix this is the person. So that's how you gain relevance. That's what I can think is okay. This person will be able to provide a solution to this problem. So I think I'm still working on that one in second year. Yeah.
Alright. We go to another section which says vision and goals. So, what changes or improvements would you like to see on campus and how would you achieve them?
Okay. for starters, uh, let's just stick it around here. So, like the situation that we mostly have that is affecting us is the issue to do with chairs. I don't know
Yeah.
if you mostly have classes, apps here. We are mostly affected by that to the point where a student has to stand the whole lecture without actually sitting.
Change culture.
Without actually sitting, which is
uh,
very bad. So how I intend to work on this if given a chance to save is we adapt to the same setup that they've done down school. You can never find the issue of missing chairs down school. Why? It's because they've provided benches that are actually not easy to move. Like people can just move any of them anyhow. You understand? So how we are going to do that is that we are going to advocate for that, so that at least in these bigger venues they are going to put adequate of those. And then if we have enough, because with management, if we give them the response to say why don't we have furniture, why are we having shortages of chairs in study venues, the reason they are going to give you is that it's because we've taken those furnitures and we've actually put them in our rooms. But the question also to ask them, have they provided chairs for us in our rooms? No. So we resort to those as well. So if they put up benches in these bigger venues, well and good. Either we use those chairs, the book racks in our rooms or with them. We are all benefiting.
yeah, in a cover, you find someone getting a chair, you're going to write the this, are you
Actually
getting the
fighting for a chair. And you're in
Imagine.
pain zero. You
An
understand?
intellectual.
Exactly.
We go to the next section, which is problem solving and decision making. How would you approach resolving disputes between the student and the facility?
Between the student and the facility. For starters, what I believe in is we should come up to a situation where we are able to resort like to one solution that is benefiting all of us. You understand? We hear why some certain things are not being done by management, but we also get curious why they are not doing it. So let's talk of the issue to do with supplementary exams. You know, that has been there, and a lot of students have been advocating for that from the word go. Why am I saying this? Because also the person that did their manifesto to me in first year, they added that to say we are going to make sure that supplementary exams are brought here, which is a lie. They did not do that.
Yeah.
Secondly, also in second semester, in second year, sorry, the same thing happened. Person came, he said they're going to make sure that supplementary exams are brought. They also died. Nothing happened. So with me, it's not even under my manifesto. I'm not even adding it. It's because I know how the management is about that thing. Understand? Yeah. And there are some things that us here in Mulungushi University that you can't change in a nutshell, not just in a daylight. Like in a day, today you just know that okay, this has been like this, then the next day you're like, okay, let's go against this. They'll definitely tell you to say the reason why we are not doing this is because of A, B, and C. So we need to come to a point where we understand, to a mutual understanding. That's imperative. We need to come to a mutual understanding that is benefiting the all of us. That's what I can say on
Alright.
that one.
I think this should be my last question.
I'm glad.
And why are
Guys,
you glad?
I'm just saying, you know how these things, we are all camera shy at some point. So you need to just be
You
honest.
should be ready. You should
Yeah.
be ready when you're a
But now
leader.
you've started, so
Yeah.
at least it's getting moving.
Okay, so my other question is self-reflection. How you, as Francis, how do you respond to criticism?
So how best I can say that is, I don't allow people to get like in my inner space. You know what I've come to understand is that as a person, you are in charge of what you give into and what you actually get the best of you. So by that I mean you should protect your inner peace. You should see some of the words that should actually get to you. Where if someone is there to build you, you let those words actually say to say, okay, if a person is saying that, bro, you should work on maybe time management, sit down to say, is this good for me or is this bad? Then you let it like get to you, and if it is going to actually build up yourself, stick to it. But if someone is there maybe like throwing insults at you, negative words to say you won't go anywhere, immediately you start thinking about not going anywhere. You start now getting into your head like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if maybe it doesn't just go well with me? And like that, it will start itching you up, and immediately it gets to you. It makes sure that your self-esteem is low to the point where you even fail to stand up and face some situation. So you are in charge of yourself. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
And the best enemy that you can ever win from is yourself. So the battle actually starts from you. Your mind, you should protect it no matter what. Even if people will come, know that you've protected your mind, nothing will happen. I've reached at a point where if someone was to insult me, I can't take it. Like, you're like, it happens. Maybe the second or the third time, I might react. And I always tell people, if you see me angry or upset, it's a privilege to see me like that.
Tafi mono mono.
Tafi mono mono. Yes,
Uh,
that's what I can say.
okay, now we've reached on that part of the episode. Why should you vote for me? So now, Francis,
Yes.
why should we vote for you?
Okay, so the reason is quite simple. First of all, experience is there. I've served as a committee member under the Ministry of Academics for a year and a semester. So experience is there and exposure is there. I believe I've worked with a lot of students and most of them can testify to this. So if we bring someone who's new to the system, it's possible and it's good, but it can be a bit of a backlash here and there because they also need to know where to go as well. But if given a chance to say for why you should vote for me, the experience is there, the exposure is there. I will even know where I will start from because I've interacted with the former minister. We used to be like really close. So yeah, that's the reason you should vote for me aside from my manifesto. Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, countrymen and women, Wamoma and Wamongu, I think we have heard the reason why we should vote for Francis. So, is the reason why he has given you, is it worth it for you to give him your votes this coming Friday? Don't forget to come for the debate night so that we listen to people's manifestos and
Yes, very
everything.
much.
Thank you very much, Francis. I think we've come to the end of our
I,
interview.
Thank you very much. So it was an honor and a privilege to be here. Hope to do more of this, more of it as the semester is unfolding. Yeah, thank you very much.